Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.
And we're live.
We're back.
Welcome to Underdog Journey. We're back-ish. We're back. We're back on our home turfs here. I'm back in Columbus. Yeah. You're back in New York.
Yeah.
Last week we were in Boston. Man.
Yeah, Boston was a good trip.
That was a fun trip. That was amazing. I still can't believe we got to do that.
Yeah, it was a good time. And I did get a chance to chat with, text a little bit with Josiah from the Boston Tea Party Ships and Museum, and he is going to come back on the show.
Yes.
To finish the story, because for everybody who watched last week, you guys know we were boondoggled with gremlins in the system last week.
We were having some serious audio issues, and hey, just so you guys know that we actually found out it wasn't just the fault of our equipment. A band came in right afterwards to the Green Dragon. So we were live at the Green Dragon Tavern in Boston, Massachusetts. And a band came in right after we ended. And apparently they have the same issues. And I guess it's the electrical wiring in that building is just so old and janky.
Yeah, I did talk a little bit about grounding and how important that is.
Yeah.
And how it functions a little bit. I was a few beers in, we'll call it that. And but I was not incorrect. But you guys may not be able to follow it. Anybody who wants a specialty lesson or a one-on-one lesson about how electricity flows through wires and the EMF it creates and how a drain loop or a filter or a ground or a shield brings that away from your equipment, let me know. I'll walk you through it. We'll get a whiteboard. We'll draw it all up. And we'll bore the living tears out of you.
I was just thinking that I wanted to know about all of that.
Yes. I was just thinking.
Afterwards, we can talk about algorithms.
You know what? And, sorry, Dave. I've got to go to the dentist.
Man, I got to have this root canal done. And
yeah, and I think I'd rather do that.
Yeah. So
that's gonna be fun.
So we are actually going to replace some of our equipment. We're going to get what did you call it? It's a power conditioner.
A rectifier, but most people call it a power conditioner or a power supply. But inside of it's just stacked with rectifiers to take peaks and lows, and it basically balances the power out. So when you get it, you get very clean electricity.
There you go. You got to rectify your power, especially if you're in a several hundred-year-old tavern.
Yes, and you know what? Even with all the gremlins we fought with for the electric last week, I'd freaking do it again next week if they said, "Hey, come on back."
It was so fun. It was amazing.
I'd be on. Well, I would say the next boat, but really, I just drive out there. It's only a few hours.
So
it's not bad to get to
Ohio.
Boston.
So
yeah. It was a good time. So
yeah.
We can't see, but what shirt are you wearing there, bud?
Well, I love your shirt there. So this is a cool shirt. I really like this.
This is accidental. By the way.
We called
want to make sure everybody understands that.
And we missed our time in Boston together. So we had a nice brunch.
Yes.
And then did some shopping. And we went and did some ice skating in the park. We held hands. It was nice. It was fun.
We swung by Vineyard Vines. I mean, it was a good time.
No, but so Boston's a cool city, but man, I never want to drive in that city. Those roads are crazy. The people are crazy. but I love the city. That was such a fun time.
It is awesome. Luckily for me, I get to experience driving over there quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I just kind of blend in now with the way I drive. I'm like, let's just go. You know, it's not a whole lot, except the roads are much worse in Boston.
Yeah.
Unlike driving in San Francisco, where San Francisco, the traffic laws are more suggestions, and you just kind of pull up, as long as it's cool, you go and just expect everybody else to do the same thing, and it works out there. So
it works in
bully for them.
It's pretty close to how we were going.
Yeah. So, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, so I actually found in my fridge, I forgot this is there, some Great Lakes Oktoberfest. So I am enjoying that. This is a great beer, and actually I think this was left here by one of our live studio audience members, Matt Harmon. So Matt, if you're
nice,
thank you. What are you drinking?
Matt, if you're watching, bring more beer.
Matt, if you're watching, yeah, come on, man, I'm running out.
I'm not on the beer tonight. I'm doing a Moscow Mule.
Ooh, going mixed drink tonight. I like it.
Oh yeah. So I've got the camera here. So we're gonna still this for a moment.
Okay. What do you got?
And
a nice little bar set up there. Okay.
You'll see my setup here.
Uh-huh.
I've got the cutting board ready to go. I've got the Tito's back here. I've got a bourbon to try, a Kentucky Mule you were talking about. This is a bottle of black. I got some limes. I got a thing of crushed ice. Got my jigger, my spoon. I mean, I'm all ready to go with mixing the drinks up tonight. So
we should do.
That's where.
Here's what we should do. We should do a mixology show. We should go and talk to like a bar owner, and just see if we can get behind the bar and mix some drinks and make complete fools of ourselves. This is what we should do.
I'm going to do that here in just a little bit. I mean,
exactly.
This is only going to last for so long. That's why I have this stuff here, so I don't have to get up and go.
That's just never.
Yes, I do agree. That would be a blast to do.
Maybe the Green Dragon next year.
Yeah, that's not. I think we would need more of a speakeasy style bar, more of a cocktail bar.
I'm with you.
And less of a pull the tap bar.
Good.
Don't get me wrong. That's my kind of bar. I still prefer the beer, but unfortunately, and I love being up here in New York, but the beer scene up here is substantially lower than where in Columbus. So
which is why you've been doing the bourbon and the mixed drinks lately. I guess.
Yes. So which is why the bourbon and everything came along, and it's been fun. I ain't gonna knock it, but yeah, this is the Moscow Mule for right now. So. Cheerio, pip, and whatnot.
Exactly. So before we get too far, I do want to give a special thanks to Josiah George from the Boston Tea Party Ships and Museum for giving us the interview last week. He took some time out of his day. So he had if you didn't know, last Wednesday was the anniversary of the Boston Tea Party, which is why we were there. And he was from the museum, Boston Tea Party Museum, and he was actually between presentations. So he gave a little presentation, and he was playing a video for attendees. And then after the video was done, he had to go back and speak to the rest of the attendees. So while they were watching the video, he actually
he had the Q&A. After us, he had to go back to the Q&A.
So he was actually really tight on time, so we really appreciate that. So Josiah, man, you're awesome, and we can't wait to have you back on because we want to get the rest of the details. We want the rest of the story. I can't do Paul Harvey. That's my best Paul Harvey.
We want to Paul Harvey the crap out of that.
Yeah. The rest of the story.
For one of the other people that they have already requested for us to come out and do a show from their site and talk to the owners of the site. It is the Boston Cigar Club.
Dude.
And
Boston Cigar Club. Everybody watching or listening, here's what you need to do. You need to go on Google and Google up Boston Cigar Club and look at the photos that come up. This place is amazing.
Here's the website at the bottom. The website's right there on the bottom.
Or BostonCigarClub.com.
Yep.
Dude. That place is awesome. Matt Harmon just chimed in with #dingdongs. Matt, hey, by the way, thanks for the beer, man. Appreciate it.
Yes. Thanks for the beer. So, and when you get out and you mingle and you talk, and that's one of the things that we talk about. So I got an invite, and we talked about this in the past. Professional gatherings. What's the word I'm looking for that they always push?
Professional gathering?
Where you meet other professionals, basically all of us guys out there trying to do our business.
A networking event.
Or social a networking event. So
Yeah.
I keep getting all these things for networking events, nonstop,
Mhm.
largest networking event here, and an email list of all the emails of the attendees.
Email all these people who want to sell you their garbage and not buy your garbage. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a complete waste of money and time. I'm
Yeah.
not doing that. So while we're there, just doing our regular thing, we make contact with the owner of the Boston Cigar Club. Wants us to come out, and we're going. We're going to go back out. We got to get the schedule.
Yeah.
But we're going back, and we're going to be doing a show from the Boston Cigar Club, which is going to be cool. Although we may have to kind of we're look at YouTube and Facebook requirements because of what the topic is.
Well,
so we'll have to see that.
So if you're highlighting tobacco products, they demonetize you and deprioritize you. Your
But see,
content.
we don't monetize. You know, we don't monetize, so it doesn't matter to us.
Right. Well, true. Fair point.
One of these days, maybe. But while they were talking with this group, we found one of the co-founders of C3 Aero.
That's right.
And he is interested as well as coming on the show and to talk about how, and his business, that business is interesting.
Yeah, C3.
When somebody, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say just C3 Aero. So I won't go into full details about what they are, but basically they cater to super high-end people. Matt said C3PO. You're not far off. You're pretty far off. They actually cater to really high-end, CEOs, heads of companies, heads of or different organizations that have really high budgets and really want to get into the private jet game. So his niche is really tight, and actually the way that he speaks to his customers and markets to them is, again, we'll wait until the show, really specific and a really innovative way to do it that I don't think a lot of people are doing. So really,
right. I missed my haircut today, and this is just driving me nuts here, guys. So I'm putting a hat on.
So David,
I'm going with a hat.
David, I was going to tell you, get a haircut. You look like a hippie. Come on, man.
I know. I meant to get a haircut today. I actually meant to get the dog out to get the nails clipped and one last bath for the year, and just it didn't make it happen. So I'm sitting here and I'm seeing my hair. I'm like, oh my Lord, because I was too busy to, my normal show prep girl's not here today, so I'm dealing with a stand-in, and man, they just left me hanging there.
The whole thing, man.
To be honest, I was too much running around getting the booze for making this drink, which is another reason why beer is better. Yeah, open it and you drink it.
Exactly.
I've got to squeeze a freaking lime.
Hey, maybe you can switch to canned or bottled cocktails. That's apparently a thing now.
It is a thing, and I've seen some videos on a YouTube channel called How to Drink, and I do recommend that channel.
Oh, I saw that as video. It's pretty funny.
And it's golden. I mean, I stumbled into a golden gem.
Golden gem?
Ruby gem? A golden gem?
You can have a golden gem, I guess. You could
a gold-clad gem of a YouTube channel, and basically it's me as a mixologist, and I guess that's why I like it so much. So that's it. So I know you've got some news, and I've got just a little bit of news.
Yeah.
I'm going to need my phone for this one.
What do you got with us?
Because I got to look at the you guys know we love to look at the stocks, and we do not provide stock opinions, or maybe we do, I don't know, but don't listen to us, for the love of God. Keep your money, don't listen to us. I want to look at 1 week.
So while you're looking that up, you got it ready? You got it ready?
I got it ready to go.
Go for it.
Disney on rumors that Bob Chapek is out, and a possibility. We all know it's not going to happen, but just the rumor that Bob Iger would come back and fill the seat as CEO. It's the first week that the Disney stock that I've purchased has started going the right direction.
Well, look.
So just on rumors.
Just on rumors. That tells you right there what a great job Bob Iger did.
And also as a reflection on exactly how poor of a shape the company currently is in.
Look, I'll tell you so Bob Paycheck did quite a few things that I wouldn't have recommended. Again, I'm not in it to tell him what to do. He's apparently pretty good at what he does. But where he really dropped the ball, in my opinion, is the Star Wars Hotel. The Star Wars Hotel. They hyped this thing up for years. Years this thing is coming. Big news, hyping it up, hyping it up. The ads for this thing. If you, everybody watching and listening, go on YouTube, look up the ads that have already been pulled down. You got to find them from reposts. They look like an intern did them in a weekend. Super janky, super bad. Apparently, in the hotel, there's like 3 things to do. There's like 3 pieces of entertainment, and there's apparently a pretty cool bar that looks like a cantina, and that's about it. And these rooms are going for like $6,000, and I guess people are dropping the reservations like flies.
Is that $6,000 a month? $6,000 a week?
That's $6,000 a night, David.
A night.
Night. Whew. Now look, I know there are a lot of rich people out there with a lot of money to blow, but just on the news of how terrible this thing is, people are dropping the reservations like it's going out of style. So if you're interested in going to this Star Wars hotel in Disney World land, whatever, apparently you can find a room pretty easily now, because it sounds awful.
I'm just going to take a look while you go into yours. I'm just going to take a look at what the reservations look like.
Yeah. So here's mine. This is an interesting one. So we talked a couple weeks ago about Facebook changing their main corporate name to Meta. So
yeah.
Here's a story from LinkedIn. It says the title is "Inside Mark Zuckerberg's Meta Sell-Off." Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg has sold stock in the company every weekday of the year, reported by Bloomberg. Altogether, he sold off about $4.5 billion with a B in Meta, formerly Facebook, shares in 2021, nearly 8 times more than he sold last year. Zuckerberg is however, Zuckerberg is far from the only billionaire tech figure to go on a selling spree. Google CEOs, in addition to Amazon CEO, ex-CEO now, thank you, Jeff Bezos, and Tesla CEO Elon Musk, have all sold billions of stock in advance of the 2022 tax hikes. So here's what has a lot of people scratching their heads. So in 2022, there are going to be some major tax increases, especially at the higher end of the earning ladder there. Which, look, politics aside, say what you want, but there are going to be some major tax hikes. And what a lot of people are thinking is, look, are they selling billions of dollars in stock to get ahead of this tax hike, to put this money elsewhere to hide it? Or do they see something else coming? Does Zuckerberg anticipate a drop in stock prices in Facebook? Who can say?
I mean,
they anticipate
it's
drop
just
in price.
It's flat out good business to do what they're doing.
It is
flat out.
Absolutely. They're not
just
doing anything wrong.
Just with the taxes increases themselves.
Yeah,
it is good business to do what they're doing, because it's not like they're hiding it. They're just paying their gains taxes on it at this rate,
right? Versus
next year when they're going to pay it at a much higher rate. This is good business.
No, I don't blame them. I don't look. If I had billions of dollars, just to I'm just going to take it out of here. I'm just going to stick this $4.5 billion over here. Leave my other billions over here.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that's a pretty nice way to live.
Yeah, I mean,
So look, if you're watching, so I know we do actually have a lot of billionaires who watch this show. I would recommend
17 at last count. 17 billionaires.
17 billion.
The Underdog Journey.
Guys, we appreciate it. We appreciate you. So
yeah, we appreciate it.
Here's my advice.
If you need a place to hide a few $1 billion, just send it over to us.
Exactly.
We'll figure something out.
So we will send. So yes, let us know. We will find you the best tax shelter available. Basically,
what we will do is we will start up and fund every one of our cockamamie ideas.
And we have a lot of cockamamie ideas. Holy, we got a few.
It's
Speaking of which, I wish I had been able to buy Schnapsity.com, because we have quite a few Schnapsities. For those of you who aren't aware, Schnapsity is actually a German word that means alcohol idea. It's the kind of idea that you only get when you're drunk. And we've had a few. I think they're pretty good, but
last week's was
we had a pretty good one.
I'd say that was a pretty good one. It's one that both of us have started putting ideas together and buying a couple websites and a couple things here, looking at app development and things of that nature. Just just on the whim that this one might be the one.
And look at it on today's main topic too.
Yes. So yeah, oh, absolutely. Here's something that it's an underdog guarantee. You go out on a night of drinking with West and I, you are guaranteed to leave that evening with a bit of a buzz in your head, and B, a fairly good business idea.
It's true. Because you
Those
don't.
are the two things you guarantee. Everything else is you're up to your own.
Well, it's because, like you always say, if you don't like the first idea, wait a few minutes. There'll be another coming along soon.
Yeah, we got another coming. Yes.
So,
Pretty good. So I'm trying to find access to see reservations and whatnot.
okay. Can you not?
But
Did they book up again?
it says start planning, so I'm starting planning. You know, I'm gonna click the button that says prepare for launch and see if there's anything else there. Link your Okay, so no. All right, so maybe you go to places to stay. I'm gonna guess that this is a deluxe resort.
I would say $6,000 a night. Pretty deluxe.
Oh, I clicked a button. It's not
Well,
what
that
I have to
happens.
do.
I get it.
Places to stay. There we go. Bidding spring of 22. Oh, it just takes you back to this one thing. So it doesn't even look like you can book anything right now.
Oh,
And if
they
you
booked up
can,
again?
whoever designed the website for the booking should automatically and immediately be fired because websites should flow. It should be very natural, very instinctual. This is none of those.
It was Bob Page.
None of them.
He took a weekend course on how to build a WordPress site.
Yeah, Disney on WordPress.
Well, look at the rest of their advertising for that hotel. It wouldn't surprise me. I'm just saying.
It's bad.
It's bad.
Website is, and the rest of Disney website flows very well. It's very easy to use. I have actually canceled and not done Universal trips just because it was so much easier and intuitive to do the Disney because it flowed and it's really easy to go through. And then I went over to Universal to try to book a week or something like that. I'm like, oh my God, this is just forget it. We're going back to Disney. Screw it.
Yeah, I can do Universal. It's not that bad.
It's not worth it. So Zuckerberg and other billionaires are getting ready for the tax hikes of next year.
Yeah.
Have you guys stored your money in a tax-free offshore safe haven? Get it done by January 31st, or you can't take credit.
Yeah, if you need the name of a good offshore tax haven, again, let me know. That's where I keep my billions.
Don't call me. I don't know anybody.
Don't call him.
Usually I got a guy, but I don't have a guy for that.
We're working on it.
Yes. Mm.
We have a couple friends who probably have some secrets we could possibly share. So
yeah, right. So I need another drink here, bud.
So while you're mixing that, I'll go ahead and get started with the main event. So, in the past we've talked a lot about the importance of finding a niche, right? Whether it's for business, a product, or you just want to grow on social media. You need a niche for your business. So, when we were in Boston and we were talking about our various ideas, and we had this one pretty good idea that you guys will be hearing about soon. It got me thinking that a niche isn't enough. You need to add utility on top of the niche, right? So
add line.
And so I'll explain. So basically, a niche is telling people, what you're here to sell or talk about. Your niche is craft beer, or your niche could be specific to your audience. My niche is
1.5 ounces of vodka.
Is vodka drinkers. So I'm big with Russians. But what do you actually have that's useful to the user, to the end user, right?
Utility.
That's where utility comes into play. Of course, it's nice to say, I love this product, or I love this idea, or I love this topic. So that's my niche, and I'm gonna do it because I just like talking about it. I just really like selling dog bones. But what makes you different?
That was the refreshing sound of a copper cup being stirred around. On hindsight, it's probably not the best thing to do in the middle of the podcast.
Great sound effects, though. That's great. That's you're making me thirsty over there.
Yes. All right. We just squeeze a lime over here.
Is that going to make any more? What's the squeezing sound? You do it right next to the mic. I got to hear this.
Oh, there's no squeezing.
It's not that kind of show, people.
Unless I.
Nope.
It just gives you a bit of a smush and a drip of the stuff there. Nothing there.
And remove.
So we got about. Welcome to the Underdog Journey, where we teach you how to make a Moscow Mule.
Actually, I'll bet that show would do pretty well. If we had a mixology show, we could make that work. David, this is why we need to move back to Columbus and build a bar, because then we could have a whole show just on mixology.
Finish that off with some ginger beer.
Like you do.
Mute your microphone before you stir again.
Oh, you're muted? Okay, we can't hear the ice.
All right, there. Now we stirred it. Now, typically, you should finish this off with a lime wheel. So we're going to go ahead and do that.
Oh, you're actually going full lime wheel on us. Okay.
There we go. We'll cut there. Boom.
Boom.
The Moscow Mule.
That's a fancy looking mule. How is it? Give it a try. Give it a try. Tell us how it is. It sounds delicious.
I'm supposed to do the bourbon one. Oh well, we'll do that on the next one. on the after show.
Yeah, those mules are gonna hit you hard. They're called mules because they have.
Man,
how is it?
Just delicious.
Nice.
They're so refreshing and fresh.
They are refreshing. A mule is a great summertime drink. I'm not so sure about winter, but they're a great summertime drink.
I'm pretending like I'm looking out there and it's the ocean and a beach and bikinis and well, now I've lost track of thought. But yeah, I'm
bikinis.
Nice and warm.
Thanks, podcast.
It's all good.
All right.
Yeah, me lost it. I was done.
So anyway, so what makes your and we're back. So what makes your product different? Like why would I use your product or service over your competitor, right? So or beyond that, what problem are you solving? Because a lot of times you'll hear people say if you're going to start a business or sell a product, you got to solve a problem. So what problem are you solving? It has to be more than just you like this topic or you like that product. So, unfortunately, just being passionate isn't enough. You got to have utility. So, here's an example. Here's an example that I think everybody's familiar with that I think we can kind of relate to, even though it's kind of out in the clouds right now, which is Facebook. Okay? And I just realized I said out in the clouds and we're talking about Facebook. Nerd stuff. Okay, so Facebook, the head shake. Facebook didn't start out as Meta, right? So it didn't start out as a big data advertising platform, which is where they get the majority of the revenue. It didn't start out as a way to keep in touch with your family, distant friends, or coworkers. It basically it didn't start out as what it is now, which is all things to all people. Facebook, in its earliest recognizable form, started out as a social media platform to keep in touch with very close schoolmates from your specific college, right? Mm-hmm. So, early on, just to make an account, you needed a student email address from one of a very few colleges around the country. And even then, you could only connect with people from your college. Like, it was really tight and really niche. I mean, this was not the competitor to MySpace that it ended up being that completely destroyed MySpace. That's a different conversation. It literally served as providing utility to students in the form of connecting them through that tight private network. So that's the utility that Facebook provided very early on. And that's really how they got their start. And in fact, their niche was so tight and their utility was so narrow that a lot of early investors turned them down. Think of all the people who Zuckerberg originally went to say, "Hey, would you like to fund our Facebook project?" And they got kicked out the door. So there are
those guys are kicking themselves today.
Oh, there are a lot of people who probably jumped out that window. And as you may or may not know, this is actually, eventually when they got funding, that's what led to the now famous feud between Mark Zuckerberg and Andrew Garfield. So For those who didn't see the movie, you don't know what I'm talking about.
He did an okay Spider-Man. A lot of people knock him, but
He did. So for those of you who have not seen Spider-Man Far From Home, I have not either, but I know all the spoilers. I'm not going to go into it.
Don't spoil anything.
I'm not going into it. But here's a pretty cool thing. So Andrew Garfield recently publicly came out. This isn't a spoiler. Andrew Garfield recently publicly came out and said he would like closure on his Spider-Man trilogy. He never got the trilogy. He only got the 2 movies. So there are rumors right now. They're actually going to make a third Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. I would watch it. He was.
I've heard of that. But wait, there's more. There is more. There is I think it's called a scream reel or something like that. A noise. I don't know. It's not even animation.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally freeze frame, drawn pictures of movie kind of cut scenes, right?
Okay.
And that's how you generate interest to see if it's worthy.
I'm not sure where you're going.
The Last Starfighters is in that process right now.
Oh, which
would be the sequel to like the 1984, 1986. The Last Starfighter is in its infancy to get a sequel.
So yes,
about darn time.
So what you're talking about is an animatic reel, where basically they draw keyframes of specific scenes and play them out as if you're seeing the movie. They'll put some sound effects, maybe over it.
There's a specific role or a name for it, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm being out of the business for so long.
So for there are people out there. The Last Starfighter was awesome. The Last Starfighter. And here's the funny thing: for anybody who's have you seen on Hulu? It's called Future Man. It has Josh Hutcherson or something. It was actually pretty funny. The first 2 seasons were actually pretty funny. Third season, say what you will, but it actually had almost that exact same plot line as The Last Starfighter. And
really?
I'm telling you, The Last Starfighter, great movie. Here's another one. You and I were talking about this. They're making Last Starfighter. They're also making another. It's either a remake or a sequel. I don't know which. Another Flight of the Navigator.
Really, I'm literally. I could pull up my phone here, the little flippy opie phone.
That's cool.
And show the Disney Plus, because I've literally started rewatching The Flight of the Navigator today.
Yeah. So if they make a sequel, here I got a question. If they make a sequel or a remake, in your opinion, do they need to either bring back A, Paul Rubin, or should they B, replace Paul Rubin with Will Smith?
Are you kidding me?
Well, no, it worked with Aladdin. Rubin. It worked with Aladdin.
Actually, if they were just to bring, depending on how they spun it, I think Will Smith would do a great job. I think it would be an interesting thing. But Paul Rubin's laugh is just so much a part of that movie's kind of grab when the Navigator T5000, whatever it is, starts with its personality. I mean, it'd be really hard to take that away from it. Yeah.
So maybe they could bring in Will Smith as a different ship, in addition to Paul Rubin's ship.
Yeah. Well, we have a couple comments here that Matt Harmon likes. He likes Rubens.
Oh, I saw this on there. He loves a Reuben. I think he's talking about the sandwich.
Yeah. So I have a Reuben. I don't eat kraut, but I had a Reuben today for lunch. And it was on rye too. So yeah, I'm with you.
See, I do like a Reuben, but I don't like rye bread. Because it's one of those things. It's all I taste the rest of the day. It's a whole thing. So. Wait.
Okay.
Get a little sidetracked there. So.
I don't know what's going on in my house. It's all kinds of noise out there going.
Well, all I hear is your phone buzzing. It's right next to your microphone.
Oh, yeah, it's right there. You never can tell.
So, in addition to adding utility to your business, we mentioned how Facebook.
Back to the topic.
We even mentioned how Facebook started with utility first, before they were all things to all people, right? So, we're not Facebook. none of us are going to be Facebook. Face it. There are very few Zuckerbergs in the history of time, and likely, statistically, it's probably not one of us. So how can we add this to our own businesses, our own products or services? So I'll put my money where my mouth is. So it is something as simple as dog bones, right? So Underdog Bones is a dog treat that I'm making, and I'm going to start selling this soon. In 2022, I'm going to start selling this. So, first of all, I'm in marketing, right? So how on earth did I get into this product in this niche of dog bones? So,
we were out drinking one night, and I put a dare out there for Wes to eat one of the dog treats.
Actually, Harmon did eat one of the dog treats.
He takes a bite out of the dog treat and just spits it out, blasts it, says, "I can do better," and thus the Underdog Bones were born.
That was actually it. I was wearing my monocle, and we were testing dog foods. So now tell them the real story. So again, it's completely out there. I mean, I have no business being in the dog food, industry, right? So how did it all get started? Well, and this does lead into the utility of the product, I promise you. Well, it all started when we adopted our rescue dog Rio. We got her from a local dog rescue, and she was the first dog. So my current wife actually had a dog when I met her, as a whole thing. But this is the first dog I actually had that was like mine. We had a little dog growing up. That didn't really count. She was a tiny little.
How'd that work out for you?
The dog or the wife?
The dog. No, the dog.
But
so
I don't think she's watching right now.
Reaction to you.
I don't think she's watching right now. My wife either.
Oh. Okay.
So it's all working out well. The dog actually only loves my wife. Wants nothing to do with me. That's a different story. Yeah. I do actually love the dog. But I knew I wanted to do something to give back to this community that is helping these animals, because
the dog rescue.
Yeah, so I wanted to give back to the dog rescue community. So naturally, doing what you and I do, what we talk about, this meant starting a business. And of course, since starting a rescue was out of the question, for a number of reasons, the next logical step was creating a product or service. So, I started making a list. And this is what you should do if you ever want to start a business, but you don't know what.
Did you check that list twice?
I checked it twice. I found out who was naughty or nice. And then I ate another dog treat. Instead of a chocolate chip cookie. So again, here's what you need to do before starting any business, but you don't know what. Make a list. Make a list of your passions, your interests, all that kind of stuff.
And a man can never have too many lists.
And I'm a big fan of Excel. I love Excel. I love a spreadsheet. So this is what I do, right? So again, and if you don't have Excel, if you don't have Microsoft Excel, here's what you do. Start a Google account, start a Gmail account, and get Google Sheets. It's identical to Excel. It's in the cloud. It's online, and it's free. Most of all, I highly recommend it. So,
yep.
Since I'm in marketing, I do marketing for fun, but I wanted to keep this project separate from my career, right? So I kept, marketing and biz dev, that sort of thing, out of the equation. So the three main things that I came up with was 1, my family, 2, my dog, and 3, relaxing with a good craft beer from a local brewery. Those are the 3 things that I really love to do the most. So, of course, monetizing my family or my dog, probably out of the question. Most people frown on that, monetizing your family in such a way. So, and opening a brewery, a little bit out of my price range. What does this leave us with? This is where I came up with the idea of a family-owned business making dog biscuits from locally sourced brewer's grains. It had all 3 things that were at the top of my list. And, I was familiar with this product ahead of time. I'd actually made it a couple times in the past. But it served the purpose of what I was looking to do perfectly. It fit all 3 criteria of my list, and I'll get into the utility in a second. It actually serves the perfect utility that I'm trying to provide to the potential customers that I get for this product. So here's actually where the utility comes into play. Why should anybody care about this product? Why should you buy Underdog Bones versus, a pack of 3?
You don't buy Underdog Bones, you hate puppies.
But no, here's why you should buy these over.
That's our new slogan. That's the new slogan
hate
right there.
You know what?
If you don't buy this product, you hate puppies.
I'll make that one. I will make that ad. But so again, here's
a t-shirt.
The utility plays into the marketing as well, because I'm in marketing. It plays into the marketing and why you should buy these over a competitor, or go to Walmart and buy Walmart brand treats that are a fraction of the price. Why should you buy these instead? Here's the reason. Look, these are small batch, locally sourced ingredient treats, which means you know exactly what's in them. I'm telling you, you go and you buy any. I'll block out the name here. You go and you buy any big name, dog treats, and I keep this here for research. You look on the back there, and you're going to see chemicals that you cannot pronounce. You're going to see all kinds of preservatives and artificial colors and all kinds of crazy stuff in there you don't know the names of. You don't know what's in there. You don't know what those chemicals are doing long-term to your animals. And frankly, nobody cares because they're cheap. They're inexpensive, and they're easy to pick up from Walmart or whatever grocery store is near you. So again, that's one reason to buy my treats over others, and that's part of the utility. I'm not trying to shield my product. I'm telling you the utility here. In addition to shilling my product.
I'm trying to sell this product.
So
buy the dog treats. You know what's good about this week?
What's that?
I can pick the mic up and move it towards me.
There you go. Mine is attached to the
all the crazy pops and cracks. Buy the dog treats.
So number two, these aren't for sale yet. When they are, I'll tell you. Which is why I don't feel guilty about shilling this stuff, because I'm not even trying to sell it yet. I'm just trying to tell you about the utility, which leads into the main topic. So number two is, these are handmade from a family-owned small business, right? These are not made by one of the 5 companies who currently, and here's a statistic everybody needs to know. Currently, all dog food and dog treats, over 80% of them are produced by one of 5 companies in the entire world. 5 companies.
So this is a family-owned business, what you're saying?
Yes, this is a family-owned.
What you're telling me is you use child labor to get your products made.
Yes, I use my children.
I'm not saying I disapprove. I'm just, we'll see them on the podcast. They come and say goodnight. We got about 5 minutes until they should come down.
I put them next to the ovens. It's not an air-conditioned room. They sweat a lot, so I wouldn't call it a sweat shop. But
yeah, they stop sweating by like 2 in the afternoon.
Look,
by 10 o'clock at night, man, they just go straight to sleep.
Exactly. They rehydrate in the morning. They're good to go.
This is sad, but if you buy certain products, you actually, you know what, we're gonna look. They get too close.
I'm not gonna mention the names of any companies, but if you have 5 companies around the world who produce over 80% of all dog food and dog treats, I'm telling you, there are some production and factory issues that you should think about and use your imagination on. I won't go into details. That's all I got to say. This is a small family-owned business. Again,
look at
the reasoning for buying treats from companies like this, it plays into the utility. It's part of the utility. You're doing the right thing. That is actually utility to a degree. And here's number 3, and here's the best part. Here's the main utility of buying Underdog treats is 20% of all profits. 20% of all profits go directly to supporting rescue initiatives, organizations that are dedicated to giving dogs a second chance in life. 20% go to rescue organizations of all profits. You show me another company that's giving away 20% of their profits, and I'll buy their product in a heartbeat. Nobody's doing it. And why am I doing it? Because again, I'm not here to line my pockets. I'm not here to put my kids through college. I mean, I will eventually through my day job. I'm not here to even quit my day job. I'm here to make a great product and to give back to the organizations that gave me part of my family. That's utility, because here's the thing. When somebody buys my treats, they're doing the same thing. They're directly supporting those same organizations. And for them, that is utility. Yeah, they could write a check. Yeah, they could go and actually, go to these organizations themselves and directly give them money. Or they can give to companies, small family-owned businesses, that also directly give to those companies, and it's serving the same purpose. That is utility.
And both of us, we get it. It's real easy to go. That's why the big guys are the big guys. Some of them maybe started out just like what you're doing or what the Underdog Plus is doing, which is the dog treat side of the world through West there. And it started small and got bigger and bigger and bigger. And if a company doesn't lose its sense
Mm-hmm.
of who it is
Mm-hmm.
on its way, that's great. Normally, what happens though is it gets to a certain point, and private equity firms
Mm-hmm.
or a venture capitalists
Mm-hmm.
or somebody will come in, buy the place, even including the person whose image is it's built upon, and say, hey, you have to stay with the company for 5 years, 6 years, or 3 years, or however long they negotiate
Yeah.
with the company, so they get the name and the trust factor that comes along with it,
Uh-huh.
and all of the stuff that you've taken your life to build. They get that as soon as it's done. Then it typically gets, done the corporate way, and it goes from being a goal-driven business, like you have your goals of helping and supporting small family-owned businesses, to supporting rescues and all those goals, to profits and revenues.
Right.
And
So, but
it makes a lot of money.
And you're right though. So that goes back to our earlier point about Facebook. They started out with very niche, very specific utility for a relatively small audience, and they grew from there. And any good business who's doing the right thing for their shareholders needs to do the same thing. You need to grow. Hopefully, you don't lose that utility. And actually, what we're finding is Facebook. I think for a long time, Facebook lost their way. They became just pure social media and actually lost the majority of their original sense of utility. However, I think in a way they're trying to get that back with Meta. So they do want to be on top with the metaverse when it becomes when the technology is ready for it. They want to be on top. But with the metaverse as it's being envisioned by people like Zuckerberg right now, actually has a large amount of utility built into it by necessity. So utility can take a number of different faces depending on your product or service. It can take the face of functionality. It can take the face of social initiatives like giving to dog rescues. It can take a number of different faces. But utility basically is, why should somebody buy your product over the competitor? And just, what's it good for? What problem does it solve? How does it make my life better or easier? My life is better buying this product knowing I'm giving money to dog rescues. I feel better about myself. I feel better about the product I'm giving to my dog. The same thing if it were something for kids. If it went to like kid rescue organizations. I don't know what they call them, orphanages or something terribly sad. I would feel better about myself having given to those organizations. Big Brothers Big Sisters.
What's the name of that place where they put them kids?
The dog rescue, but for kids. It's
called the Nike Factory.
Oh, ouch. Oh, I don't know if we can say that, David.
And we're off the air.
We just got sued by Nike. All righty.
That's all right. Hey, I don't have a clue what their business practices are, but it was freaking hilarious.
That was a good one. Oh man,
that was good.
Nike fact. Don't say it.
Well, I'll see the cease and desist letter tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sure. I have no doubt. Oh boy. Okay, Nike. Blame the guy.
You put that up on the screen? I just now seen it.
I did. So Matt Harmon says, buy Underdog bones or we'll shoot the bunny. So we're not going to shoot a bunny. We don't have a bunny, nor do we endorse shooting them.
Yeah. Why would you shoot a bunny?
Although
they do taste very good.
They are delicious. My mom has actually cooked rabbit on Easter, and only told the kids afterward what it was, which I thought was pretty funny. So Mom, if you're watching this, feel free to give us another frowny face. Thanks a lot for that. I won't let you forget it.
So, all right, we're going down the starting lane here. So we were out fishing, camping and fishing one night, and the people that were around us just kept talking about eating turtle, nonstop eating turtle. Well, later that evening, my parents or whoever, they go out to KFC. Now, we're talking old school striped big bucket KFC, multi-piece, all these things, and they bring a bucket of chicken back, and the whole night, everybody just kept talking about how turtle tastes like chicken. Oh, it's just like chicken. You'll never even know. So me, my brother, and my sister, I think it was like the last time we were all three together.
Okay.
And we're like, oh, hell no. We ain't eating this turtle. this is turtle. What I don't want to eat. This is turtle. And it just, yeah,
That
yeah. We did not eat that evening. We ate the crust, the crumb. We
yeah,
peeled the stuff off the
yeah, the
outside,
breadings.
so we didn't have to eat it.
So you'll eat the breading
Yeah.
from turtle, but you won't eat the turtle meat.
I've had turtle since then, and it's all right, but
Did it taste like chicken?
it's nothing. Hell no, it tastes like turtle.
Did it taste like KFC?
No, they had chicken that night. I could very vividly look back and understand that was actually a bucket of chicken. Which is
Man,
like,
I didn't know turtles had
but nothing.
drumsticks. That's great. Turtles have wings? What's crazy turtle?
You ought to seen the breasts on them.
No comment.
Oh man, wait a minute. I know what's
You need
going
another.
on.
I think you need another Moscow Mule there, David. That's there you go.
It's good stuff.
You didn't even hit the Kentucky Mule. You didn't even hit the Kentucky Mule yet.
I haven't. And this is I don't know if anybody out there, but this right here is called a Town Branch from Kentucky. Of course, it's bourbon.
I like that bottle.
And
that's a cool bottle.
I bought this solely because the bottle is really freaking cool.
Yeah.
And if you're a bourbon person that likes to break down really complex flavored bourbons, this is your bourbon. Yeah. I'm not to that level yet. This is still it's still got so much going on in it that I'm like, oh, that burns a little. That one burns a little. But I think I might try it again later with just a touch of water and just see if it helps it out.
That's
get it down to my level.
And that's a real thing. Actually, if you go to bourbon tasting, bourbon tastings, they'll usually have some water next to it. And what they'll recommend is don't dilute it with water. Just put like a couple drips in and taste it. Put a couple more drips in, taste it until you get to just the right level. And it's a balancing act.
Yeah, and you'll see people. I posted a video or a picture on the Book of Faces Monday. What's today? Wednesday, Monday. We went out to see some lights here in the area. One of those kind of drive-through things, kind of like what Greg's Reservoir used to do down there on off of Riverside.
Yep.
And afterwards, we went to a place and they had Pappy's. Now, Pappy's, for those of you guys who don't know, is one of it's the golden emu or whatever. I don't know. It's the bottle of bourbon that everybody's after all the time.
The golden gem of bourbons. So Pappy Van Winkle is what you're talking about. Yeah.
Pappy Van Winkle. It's a 12-year that I had. $30 a glass. $30 for that much bourbon. Now I had to move it down some because when Wes will say, "Hey, I just pour me 2 fingers." Well, I've got big hands and big fingers, so
right. So
it wasn't quite. I mean, it was 1 finger. $30.
So yeah, one of your fingers. So I'm gonna hold this up. So when we were out not too long ago, and I say, "Hey, make me bring me bourbon. Give me 2 fingers." I meant normal human-sized fingers. He brings me this thing. It's like up to here. I'm drinking like he might as well just bring the bottle with a straw. I'm like, you got some big fingers, man.
Yeah. It was good bourbon. So I got that Town Branch, but I've also got a bottle of Woodford Reserve.
That's a good one.
Single barrel over there.
Yeah.
That I'm interested in getting into. But as I was saying, I did the Pappy Van Winkle. And I had an ice cube in it because I'm a beer drinker, so I'm just getting into it, breaking into it. So I had it in there, and I actually put a comment in the post. So yes, that's ice. Move on.
No, look,
if you do bourbon or something like that, drink it how you like it. And
that's just it. So water does actually bring out some of the flavors that a lot of people miss, especially people who aren't like avid bourbon drinkers. So when you go to the competitions, people will have a dropper there with some water to put some.
Yeah.
And this is a real thing. But like we always say, whether you're smoking cigars or drinking beer or bourbon, the best you're ever gonna have is what you're drinking right now.
Yep.
And that's just it. Drink what you like. You'll be perfectly happy. When somebody else comes along and says, "Hey, you really shouldn't be drinking it that way," guess who's the person you don't want to be speaking to?
That guy.
That guy.
So earlier we had somebody comment that I was being fancy. Who was that? Wow.
That was me.
There's a lot of Matt on here. No, it was Jenny Carlson says, Dave getting fancy this evening.
Dave's getting You're pretty fancy. Oh, you got the pipe. You got the pipe. I got you that for Christmas. I'm glad you got.
Yeah, this is. So I got it right here. I keep it in my humidor now. So I've got the pipe right here. I can be real fancy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have no idea how to smoke it, but I'm going to find out.
Look,
there's YouTube videos for that.
So I love a good pipe, and I can send some good videos over to you. But I love a good pipe. This is my Meerschaum Calabash. I love this guy. It smells like heaven. It smells like heaven to me. Mm.
Yes, I like it. I still haven't gotten the. This is some kind of a tobacco thing here, but I've got to have a coin or something. So I've got to go to my coin bucket because anytime I get coins in my pocket, first of all, I usually just tell people to keep the change, even if it's 99 cents. I'm like, just keep the change because I don't want it in my pocket.
So
I got enough stuff in my pocket. I don't want it.
So what David's talking about is, as part of the gift, you can't give a new, potential new pipe person a pipe with no tobacco. So I got him a tin of early morning pipe from Peterson's. This is a great look if you're at all interested in starting pipe smoking. This is a great way to start. It's an English blend, which means it's not It's not going to be super weird flavored, anything like that. It's nice and mellow, even smoke. But what you're talking about, these things are vacuum sealed, so you can't open these with your hands. But David, what I did is on the little tab right there, I put a little pocket knife up there. You don't need a coin. Just give it a little press, break the seal, and opens right up. And I'm telling you, this stuff is awesome. You actually will love it. I'll send some videos over your way.
Excellent. So here's what I would like to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting ready to wrap. Let's see, we got what one more show this year?
Yeah,
one more show this year. Next year's
last show of 2021.
So we've did our last show of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're gonna be doing our last show of 2021.
Yeah.
I would say sometime in Q1 in 2022, I want to meet one of our viewers who has a business idea
mm-hmm.
in their area, put them side by side with us for a show to talk about it, and spend the evening spitballing and running ideas out with them.
Ooh, that's a good idea. That's a great show.
So I think that would be an excellent time for both us. I think it would make a great show, and I think it would be a good boost of confidence for whoever it is. So send us, if you guys want to be in the running to do this, send us you can message us. Actually, don't message us through Facebook because we're very haphazard checking that.
We don't check nearly as much as we should. Leave a comment.
We really should check more. We really just get old grouchy guys who stumble onto our page and then complain about the automatic playing that's a setting on their computer, not ours.
Hey, how do I fix my 1998 HP desktop?
Yeah.
So leave a comment.
They literally message over like, turn off your autoplay. I'm sorry, I don't understand your question. I don't have a question. Just turn off your effing autoplay. And I'm like, all right, this isn't getting anywhere, dude. I straight up blocked the dude from the channel.
That's hilarious.
Like, if you can't figure out that you've got autoplay on and your freaking stuff, I can't.
Turn off your autoplay, you jackass.
Turn off your effing autoplay, you freaking hippie. Whatever, bro.
Oh, that's hilarious. I
what
see that one,
bro. No, it's bruh.
Bruh. I think you said bruh to a guy he wouldn't know what you're saying. He's like, I don't speak German.
Bro. Yes. To be honest, that'd be me. My son does it. I'm like, dude, I'll cut you. You're not cut off. So yeah, he actually just got home from work. So that's that. So let's send it over to us. Talk to us through one of the channels or one of the shows. Message us. We'll take a look at it. We'll get the information. And one of you guys, we're going to come to your area and we'll do a live show remote with you on it, talking about your business idea. If you've already got a business up and running and you want to say, like, grow and highlight, send us that over too. We'll take a look. We might do one-on-one, but sometime in quarter one, we'd like to get out and see some people because it's what we do. It's literally what we want to do is try to help you guys build your businesses. And Plus, West needs some exposure so that he can start getting recognized as well when he's out
Yeah, right.
going around.
So how are you the only one who, when you go out, because look, I know how because I never leave the house. But you've actually been recognized a couple of times now. I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah.
Like you've
Yeah.
been out and
Yeah.
people have said, "Hey, aren't you the guy from the pod?"
Yeah, aren't you the guy? Do you have a podcast? In
Yeah.
elevators with random people.
Dude, that's
And I'm
super
like,
cool.
yeah, are you going to stab me? Or I get random people, or not random, but people pinging me in on Facebook, like, "Hey, you look like this guy off of this podcast," and instead of replying, I send it over to them and say, "Here's a link to the podcast. Enjoy." So it's really cool. We've actually talked to Shannon Black,
Yeah.
about this in the past, about what it's like to start getting recognized for what you're doing over here in this digital world. When you walk out into the real world, and literally just taking an elevator in a business, and somebody's like, do you run a podcast?"
That's awesome. That is so cool, man.
Yes, I do.
So we've been out together and we've had people run up behind us to take photos when we're doing the show, but
Yeah.
I've yet to be actually recognized. Apparently, I don't have a recognizable face. It helps if I left the house more often. We're gonna work on that.
Yeah. So let's get that. Send us over your stuff. We'd love to get out there. We want to do some stuff. We want to get out there with you guys. As long as it's safe, if you're sick, of course.
Well, look, if you don't want us to visit you in person, if you just want to look, give us your business idea.
Remote.
Tell us where you are. We'll bring you on as a guest. We would love to have you on as a guest because look, we love talking business, starting businesses. This is what we do for fun. Like literally, this is what we do for fun.
And again, like I said, if you're ever at a time like, I really want to do something, and I have a couple little things that I might want to do, invite us out. We'll do some thinking, drinking with you. And trust me, by the end of the night, you're going to have multiple napkins, which I don't have here with me at the moment.
I can draw
with drawings and diagrams to connect them all together of what your next steps are. So
look, you said thinking,
into it.
and you're right because it's weird. But I'm telling you, I wish I got Schnapsity.com because the just back crap crazy ideas you only get after a few drinks.
Yeah.
Half the time you go back the next. Actually, look, I'll say easily 80 to 90% of the time you go back the next day. You say that's not a very good idea, but 10% of the time you go back, you get some pretty good ideas that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise. And here's the thing: whenever you have a Schnapsity, again a drunk idea, write it down because here's what's going to happen.
Yep.
The one time you don't write it down, you're going to try and remember what it was the next day. You're going to have no idea. You're going to have no idea.
So, what's even worse about us not getting Schnapsity.com is it's at www.wv-webdesign.@creates.
A squatter.
Which means it's a squatter.
Yep. They're going to resell it. They're going to resell it for $20,000 to $25,000 to some idiot like you or I, and we could have had it for free. We missed out.
Oh, we got a Merry Christmas. We have a Merry Christmas, Laura L. Lyons
Black. Merry Christmas to you too, Laura. We appreciate it.
You got us just as we're checking out.
What's that?
I said she got us just as we were going to check out.
Hey.
Are we done? Or are we continuing on?
Yeah, no, we're about time. So look, everybody watching, Merry Christmas. This is our last show before Christmas. Obviously, it's in a couple days. We have one more this year, and we're going to talk about planning your business or growing your initiatives in 2022 because there's a lot going on and a lot of changes that I think we can.
Yeah, kind of set goals. Put the 22 roadmap from idea to paper, and plan to work to plan, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
See you then.
Wait, no, you can't do it. You can't end like that.
What am I doing?
Do the thing. You got to do the thing. We don't end unless you do the thing.
Well, maybe I wanted to switch it up. All right. I've been West. This guy's been David, and we will see you next time.